Well, hello everybody. How you doing? We are back from our maritime adventure up in the Canadian Maritimes. 34 days. We were the tail gunners. We had a wonderful time. And we can't wait to do it again next year, because next year we're going to be the wagon masters. We're going to lead that trip. But the trip didn't go without an event. And it was an unexpected event. As you know, while we were in Quartzsite, I had actually rebuilt the suspension, or a friend of mine and I, Ken, and I had rebuilt the suspension on this thing. New springs, new equalizers. We added Sumo springs. Well, while we were on our way through Newfoundland, up at Crossbrooks, Marie went into Walmart and I did my usual walk around to make sure everything is okay. So while she was in the store, when I got over to the driver's side, I noticed that one of our equalizers were bent. Yes, it's not supposed to be like that. This little crook right here, that's not supposed to be here. This is supposed to be a flat piece. But worse yet, and as you can see, this is twisted too. Okay? But worse yet is it bent the spring hanger. If you want to come down here, it bent this spring hanger that holds that equalizer. And the equalizer, or this spring hanger, as tough as it was welded on, had a thin piece of metal like they put above. Here, come over here and look at this. You see this? You see this thin piece of metal right here? That's what they had holding right above the spring hanger. So we showed the pictures to a welder, and he said, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but that piece is actually cracking away from the frame. So we stopped on our way back out of Newfoundland and had this piece replaced with the thicker piece to prevent further bending and cracking of the frame. So I have somebody repairing this. In the meantime, because I didn't know of all of this damage, and I didn't like the way that this equalizer was running down the road, I thought I could make things go a little straighter. I didn't like the way this was bent. I thought I'd make things a little straighter by putting what do they call that? Basically another equalizer on. This is the kind that they put on when you don't have the extra cushion power. The default one. The standard one that gets built with most rigs. It was the only one available. Now, how this didn't bend anymore was the fact that the springs are now up against the U-bolts. And the U-bolts are preventing this from bending any farther that way. So this week, like I said, we're going to go to a welder. He's going to pull both axles off. He's going to cut all of the hangers off. He's going to reinforce the frame. And then we're going to build it all back up with new springs, new equalizers. I'm going back to the CRE 3000s. And I'll put the Sumos back on after we're all done. New springs, oh, and new wet bolts, because with that much tension, I'm actually surprised none of those U-bolts or none of those wet bolts broke along the way. So we got about 1,500 miles on this rig with them tires sitting the way they are. But we'll give you a follow-up report as soon as the repairs are complete. So until then, that's all we got to say. Thank you for your time, and look forward to the follow-up video. There's one more thing I wanted to add to the video that might have been a contributor to the problem. As you know, I put these road armors on. Not blaming road armor, but I put new springs on, and the new springs had the second leaf right underneath the first one with not enough recess. And if you look on the end of this and look on the end of this, that leaf spring was rubbing up against this, and we think it jammed, it locked up in there, and that's what caused the problem. But I'm going to confirm that with that mechanic. And by the way, that's been moved to Tuesday. So it'll be a few days before we get back to you. All right, that's it. Thanks.